The battle is raging. God's people will irritate the demons within others. Teaching about spiritual warfare. Sermon by Billy Graham. There is a battle raging. Though unseen by human eyes, the forces of darkness tremble at the presence of those who walk in the light of God. When you truly surrender your life to the Lord and carry His Spirit within you, you will notice something unsettling about other people. You will irritate the demons within them, not because of anything you have done, but because the enemy cannot stand the presence of Christ dwelling in you. They become unreasonably angry at you. Without cause, certain people lash out at you, their hostility revealing an unseen spiritual battle. There are moments when you walk into a room, say nothing, do nothing, and yet the air shifts. The atmosphere grows tense, and certain individuals seem irritated by your mere presence. You may try to be kind and speak with grace, walking in humility, yet their hostility toward you only increases. You wonder what you have done to provoke such anger, but the truth is, this is not a battle of flesh and blood. When you carry the presence of God in you, you disrupt the forces of darkness operating in others, and their spirits react. You see, when a person is bound by sin, deception, or bitterness, the light of Christ within you exposes that bondage. It is not that they consciously recognize this battle, but their spirit feels this conflict. They may not understand why they feel uneasy around you, why irritation rises in their heart when you speak, or why they are quick to take offense. But this is the nature of spiritual warfare. The presence of truth agitates the lies they have embraced. Consider how the world responded to Christ Himself. He was perfect and without sin, full of love, and yet He was hated, accused, and crucified. The Pharisees, who should have recognized the Messiah, were instead filled with rage in His presence. Why? Because their hearts were hardened, and His righteousness exposed their hypocrisy. In the same way, when you walk in obedience to God, those who resist Him will resist you. Their anger is not truly against you, it is against the one who lives within you. This is why you must not take it personally. The enemy wants you to believe that you are the problem, that you must change yourself to appease those who react negatively toward you. But do not fall into that trap. If you try to make yourself smaller to avoid conflict, you risk dimming the very light God has placed within you. You are not called to be liked by everyone. You were called to stand firm in truth, even when it makes others uncomfortable. So, when you encounter this unprovoked anger, do not respond with offense or bitterness. Instead, recognize it for what it is, a sign that God's presence in your life is real and powerful. Pray for those who oppose you. Love them as Christ loved His enemies. But do not waver in your faith. Stand firm, knowing that the battle is not yours, but the Lord's. And if the presence of God in you irritates the darkness in others, so be it, and let your light shine all the brighter. They twist your words and actions, no matter how pure your intentions. They distort your words, accusing you falsely. There will be times when you speak truth, when you act in love, and yet your words and deeds will be misrepresented. You will pour out kindness, but some will twist it into manipulation. You will offer wisdom, but some will call it arrogance. You will stand for righteousness, but some will label it judgment. This is not new. This is the way darkness reacts to light. When the presence of God dwells within you, the enemy will use others to try and silence, shame, and accuse you. It is a tactic as old as time. The enemy is called the accuser of the brethren for a reason. He seeks to distort, to deceive, and to turn even the most innocent acts into something malicious in the eyes of others. Consider how they accused Jesus himself. He healed the sick, cast out demons, and preached love and redemption. Yet they called him a blasphemer, a troublemaker, and a possessed man. If the Son of God was falsely accused, should we expect anything less? The enemy uses this strategy to discourage you, to make you question yourself, to cause you to shrink back in fear. When your words are twisted, you may be tempted to remain silent. When your actions are misrepresented, you may hesitate to move forward. But this is exactly what the enemy wants. He wants to silence the voice of truth and to stop the work of God in your life. Do not fall into this trap. Speak truth boldly, even when others misunderstand. Do good, even when others slander you. Remember, a pure heart before God is what matters, not the approval of other people. God sees your motives. He knows the truth, and He will be your defender. You do not need to chase after every false accusation, nor do you need to prove yourself to those who are determined to misunderstand you. Stand firm in who you are, in the calling God has placed in your life, and let Him handle those who twist your words. In the end, the truth will always come to light. Lies may spread quickly, but they do not last. God is your vindicator, and those who seek to slander you will ultimately be exposed. Keep your heart pure, your hands clean, and your eyes fixed on Him. If they twist your words, let them. If they misrepresent your actions, so be it. Your responsibility is to honor God, not to be understood by man. If they feel uncomfortable in your presence, then the light of Christ in you agitates the darkness in them, making them restless or uneasy. There are times when you will walk into a room and, without a word, the atmosphere shifts. Some will welcome you and be drawn to the peace and presence of God within you. Others, however, will become tense, irritated, and hostile without any clear reason. It is not because of anything you have done. It is because of the Spirit of God within you. Darkness is always unsettled in the presence of light. When the presence of God dwells in you, it exposes what is hidden in others. Those who walk in pride, deception, or unrepented sin often find it difficult to be around someone who walks in truth. It is not that you are condemning them, but the Spirit within you convicts them. It forces them to confront things they would rather ignore. Instead of humbling themselves before God, they may choose to resent you. You may notice that certain people withdraw from you, avoiding eye contact, cutting conversations short, or even acting cold without cause. Do not be discouraged. This is not a rejection of you, it is a rejection of the light within you. The same thing happened when Jesus walked the earth. Wherever He went, people either ran to Him or recoiled from Him. His presence revealed the hearts of men. The proud and self-righteous hated Him, but the humble and broken clung to him. Do not be tempted to dim your light just to make others comfortable. The world does not need more compromise, it needs more truth. If your presence makes someone uneasy, let it be because of the righteousness of Christ in you, not because of anything you have done wrong. Your life should challenge those around you, not because you judge them, but because the Spirit within you calls them to something greater. Keep walking in the light. Some will be drawn to it, seeking the hope and truth that only God can give. Others will resist, choosing to remain in darkness. Your job is not to force anyone to change. It is simply to remain faithful. Let your life be a testimony. Let the light within you shine, whether people embrace it or reject it. In the end, darkness cannot overcome the light. It will either flee from it or be transformed by it. They try to sabotage your faith. They mock your beliefs, discourage your walk with God, or tempt you into compromise. There will be people in your life who cannot stand the strength of your faith. They will not come out and say it directly, but their actions will reveal their discomfort. Some will mock you, making light of their convictions, treating your devotion to God as something foolish or unnecessary. Others will try to make you feel isolated, as if following Christ is an outdated or radical decision. The enemy works through these subtle attacks, planting doubt where there should be confidence, and fear where there should be faith. It often begins with small, seemingly harmless comments. You don't really believe that, do you? Or, you're taking this religion thing too seriously. Or, everyone else is doing it, why can't you? At first it might sound like they are teasing you, but over time these words can wear you down. If you are not careful, their voices will begin to shape your thoughts, and what once seemed clear will start to feel uncertain. Then there are those who actively try to pull you away from God. They will invite you into situations where you are tempted to compromise, where your values are tested, and where standing firm feels impossible. They will challenge your patience, your purity, your honesty, hoping to see you fall. Why? Because your faith convicts them. They would rather see you stumble than face the truth, that they too need God. The enemy has always used people to weaken the faith of God's children. Look at how the serpent tempted Eve in the garden. He did not force her to sin. He simply planted doubt. Did God really say? That same strategy is still used today. The goal is to make you question what you know to be true, to pull you away from God by making the world seem more appealing. But remember this, those who try to sabotage your faith do not have the final say about your destiny. Your foundation must be built on Christ, not on the approval of people. If your faith wavers because of their words, it is time to strengthen your roots. Go deeper in prayer, stand firm in the Word, and surround yourself with those who encourage your walk with God, not those who seek to destroy it. It will not always be easy. There will be moments of loneliness, times when you feel misunderstood or even attacked. But do not let that deter you. The very fact that you face opposition is proof that your faith is real. The enemy does not waste time on those who pose no threat. If you feel resistance, it is because you are walking in the right direction. So, what should you do? Love them. but do not let them pull you away. Pray for them, but do not compromise to please them. Stand strong, knowing that the one who called you is faithful. And when the enemy tries to shake your foundation, remind yourself of this truth. No one can take away what God has given you, and no one can steal the faith that is anchored in Christ. They attack you with lies and gossip. When they cannot shake your faith, they spread falsehood to discredit you. There will come a time when the faith in you irritates the darkness in others so much that they resort to slander. They cannot shake your foundation, so they seek to destroy your reputation. They twist your words, fabricate stories, and spread rumors, all with the intent of making you doubt yourself or feel isolated. This is not new. God's people have always faced false accusations, for the enemy knows that when he cannot defeat you with temptation, he will destroy you with deception. Lies are the enemy's oldest weapon. From the beginning, he has been the father of lies, twisting the truth to suit his agenda. He knows that a lie repeated often enough begins to sound like truth. So, he whispers into the hearts of those who already have resentment towards you, using them as tools to spread falsehoods. Suddenly, people you once trusted begin to believe things about you that are not true. You may be accused of things you never did, your character questioned, your integrity attacked. This can be one of the hardest battles to endure, because it is not an open attack, it is subtle, insidious, and often done behind your back. You may not even know where the rumors started, but you will feel their impact. Friends may distance themselves, opportunities may close, and you may feel the sting of betrayal. It is painful to watch people believe a lie about you when the truth is so different. But take heart, for this has happened before. Think of Joseph. His own brothers lied about him and sold him into slavery. Think of David. Saul spread falsehoods to turn people against him. Think of Jesus. He was called a blasphemer, a deceiver, and was ultimately crucified based on lies. If they attacked the Son of God with false accusations, why would his followers be exempt? When you stand for truth, expect opposition. The enemy does not attack those who are walking in his direction. He only fights those who stand against him. If lies and gossip surround you, it may be a sign that you are doing something right. The darkness cannot comprehend the light, so it fights against it. But remember, truth always prevails in the end. So do not waste your energy trying to defend yourself against every rumor. People who are determined to misunderstand you will not listen to reason. Instead, walk in integrity and let your actions speak louder than their words. The lies may spread, but the truth will stand the test of time. Your character, proven through endurance, will speak for itself.